seminar number 3. So if you've joined us for the first one, it's kind of an overview of Bordeaux, the region, what it's all about, why it's important. Seminar number 2, more about the geology and the history of the grape varieties that you're going to find in Bordeaux. So again, playing that role of moving us forward, expanding our knowledge. Seminar 3, we're going to take an even deeper dive. We're going to get into something that's probably one of the most controversial subjects in all of Bordeaux, and that's the classification system or lack thereof. Should a fourth growth at 17, about 17 years of age, how should it behave? Should it be really still lively with fruit, or should it be showing a lot of maturity? Again, things you want to think about. And again, for Merlot, we're looking for red fruit. For Cabernet Franc, for me it's that vegetal, herbal, but yet really raspberry, tart cherry element. A vintage, it's often overlooked. A vintage is in the shadow of 15 and 16. But I love what the 14s are showing. I think it's got a lot of potential, and that oftentimes means great value.
That's very sweet.
What I plan to do in the next 30 or 35 minutes is dive into a little bit more of the technical side of what makes for great Bordeaux. I call it sun, rain, and stress. And I will also be including a segment of how we in Boston for the last 15 years have been analyzing and predicting the quality of different vintages.
And that was one of the words that I heard a lot from the experts, this idea of this kind of freshness, this purity, right? That you want to have like an energy. Like if the fruit just doesn't like kind of jump up and say, here I am, that there's an issue there.
What I work to present is a simplified triangle of taste. And I distinguish taste from aroma. And I basically say you need to fundamentally understand that if you taste wine, it's made of 3 primary components: tannins, acidity, and sweetness. And
one of the greatest things I ever heard Semyon described as is like drinking laser beams. It's like lemon and just really sharp, and I think that roundness that you get from Sauvignon Blanc gets balanced out by that linear kind of nature that Semyon brings to the table.
Class 1, we start out with tasting methodology. The intention of it was to help people who are new to the chapter, new to Bordeaux drinking, get to understand Bordeaux more, but I think it goes a little bit deeper. There are some layers to it, so even the members who had a lot of wine knowledge and a lot of Bordeaux knowledge still picked up some things here and there and enjoyed it. It's broken out into 4 PowerPoint decks, and the way we did it was once a week for 4 weeks. Each class was 2 hours, and we tasted 6 wines. It's intended to build on itself, so by the 4th final class, you're kind of drawing in the taste methodology that we talked about in the first class, and you're drawing in how to discern primary versus secondary or tertiary characteristics, young wines, aroma versus older aged wines, bouquet, and how that breaks down, a little touching on the chemistry of it.
We put together a survey of the members, put it out on SurveyMonkey to be able to try and understand where they want to go with education for the coming year. If you haven't used SurveyMonkey, it's incredibly easy. It is also free. I will share this survey with you if you think that it's of merit in terms of using it, but Eric and I were talking yesterday and likely might want to alter it a little bit, and we may even want to consider whether all of us want to do the same survey to get a sense of how things go over, or how things go across the country instead of just within one chapter. So these are the topics that we looked at. Which topics are you interested in learning about in the coming year? What specific appellation are you interested in? What kind of speakers would you like? What kinds of educational formats would you be interested in? Are there any other related wines or regions you'd like to learn about that are related to Bordeaux? Or any other comments or suggestions?
That's very sweet.
Singed juniper, yeah. I guess juniper is a good Cab Franc word, right? How do you really evaluate a wine when it's that young, when it's in its first 2 years of life? Because that's usually when we taste these wines. And some of you are lucky enough to go and taste them in barrel when they're even under a year old. Like, what does sweet ink smell like? But it does, right?